Hey guys, it's Shannon. I am so excited to be bringing you along with me today as I decorate the coffee bar for spring. I already posted my wood sign that was the inspiration for this whole coffee bar for this season, and if you missed that, I will link that down in the description box below. But it basically says, welcome to the spring market where there are vintage antiques and flowers. So that's what I really wanted to capture here, was sort of like you are finally walking through a spring vintage market. And so it's got a very eclectic look, but it's still got a lot of modern farmhouse twists on it. So let's get started decorating the spring vintage inspired coffee bar. I had hunted around for the perfect table runner for the coffee bar, and without having any luck, I decided to just trim up some drop cloth that I had on hand already, and it wasn't quite long enough, so I just pieced it together and tucked some of it underneath the coffee pot, and it actually really turned out better than I could have expected. So you can use things from around your house and just make them work for you. Next, I hung my wood sign in between the coffee bar lights on the wall, and that really sets the tone for the whole coffee bar. Next, I added my staple pieces that I always add to my coffee bar design, and those are these canisters which say coffee, tea, and sugar on them, which I found at Marshall's. Added to the end of this top shelf is a wooden tool chest that I got from Magnolia Market, as well as a Ray Dunn themed plate that says Bloom on it. Next, I'm adding one of my jadeite pieces. This is a tutorial I just released, so if you're interested in creating your own jadeite, I have a tutorial for that, which I will link down in the description box below for you as well. To add balance to the other side of the top shelf, I added a crate that is from a Target dollar spot find that says Farmer's Market on the back, but I decided to flip it around and use the blank side. And then I just filled it with another one of my jadeite pieces, a faux enamel tray, and then a couple pieces of my vintage milk glass. I really wanted the feel of a vintage market, so you will see a lot of old pieces mixed in with new and antiques, so it really gives it a modern yet vintage look. Now moving on to the next shelf, I get a lot of questions about this hook rail that I have, and it's actually from IKEA and very affordable. I love it to display my Ray Dunn coffee mugs on. I also have a vintage piece that I hung from here as well. And then I add a little bit of softness and spring touch with a vase of flowers and a beautiful candle. I added a vintage hammer to the side. I really loved adding all of that antique look to the new. And then instead of a table runner up here, I'm actually just adding a hand towel that is from Home Goods, and then a stack of vintage books. I really wanted to balance out the jadeite picture of flowers from the other side and bring some flowers to this side of the shelf as well. So I have a Ray Dunn picture that I'm filling with the same flowers, and then also added a string of wood farmhouse beads to the top of the picture as well. I really have fallen in love with the beautiful peach flowers. They really complement the jadeite pieces so nicely, and they really add a romantic touch of spring to the look. Then I added this handmade wood sign to the front of the thermostat to cover that and hide it. I also had some Ray Dunn pots that I threw a little bit of that excess drop cloth into to give my next pot a little bit of height, just add a little bit of interest. Add a cute little bird that I tucked in there, added another piece of jadeite, and then a really cute metal watering can. And the last little detail that I added to the shelf were a couple old cutting boards. These also helped to hide the shelf bracket. Now moving down to the coffee bar cabinet, I added an old tobacco basket that I had that was a little bit tattered. I actually really liked that kind of weathered look that it had. And then I added another hand towel to it to add some more texture. I also really wanted it to have a flower market sort of look, so I added a couple of these willow wreaths to the design as well. This one's from the Dollar Tree, so really inexpensive. And then I also added a piece of salvaged molding. And then next to the coffee pot, on top of another cutting board, I have a piece of jadeite with a Ray Dunn mug that I used to hold our coffee stirs, and a scoop that we used frequently for our coffee. And then I also added a ramekin and another cute little spring bird. This tray was actually a trash to treasure. I had spray painted it white and added some jute to the handles to give it more of that farmhouse look. I then folded over a grain sack printed placemat that I had on hand. I really like adding a little bit of print to places like this. And then I added my tier tray that was a Target dollar spot find. And inside the tray I added a cute little spring wood sign with a white pitcher. To the top, a couple of containers for sugar and cream, which are also from the Target dollar spot. Another metal watering can, and like I said, another one of those willow wreaths because I really liked to tie in that natural element. Also on the tray, I added another Ray Dunn flower pot, along with a salt and pepper shaker, which are part of my Jadeite DIY video that you can check out after this video, and I show you how to create those. And then I pulled in a little bit more of the flowers into that flower pot. And last to the tray, I added a crystal candle holder to really add a little bit more of that romantic touch. To the middle of the design, I added this Ray Dunn plate that says spring on it. And then last I added my Jadeite lemon juicer. So a really eclectic, beautiful look. And as I always say, this is my favorite part, I think just because it's fun to do. I always really enjoy creating new designs and new artwork on the coffee bar chalkboard. That is the entire background to this design, and what I really love about it is it's a very inexpensive way to fill in gaps. So instead of buying more accessories to create a full looking design of this huge coffee bar, all I have to do is add a little bit of artwork to the chalkboard wall, and I get a whole new look for every season and every occasion with zero cost. If you'd like a look into how we actually built this coffee bar, from the paint that we used for the chalkboard wall to how we created the floating shelves, I have a full tutorial on that as well, and I will link that down in the description box below, so you can check that out after this video. And here is a look at the completed design. I hope you enjoy the tour of my spring market inspired coffee bar. If you aren't already, you can find me on my social media pages, both on Facebook and on Instagram, where you'll get sneak peeks and behind the scenes of projects and tutorials that are soon to come. You can find me on both at TheDailyDIYer, and I also have those linked down in the description box below. Not only was this coffee bar fun to design, but it was also really fun to create the Jadeite Glassware, as well as the wood signs, which I will link those down in the description box below if you'd like to learn how to recreate your own. And I hope that this tutorial inspired you. Make sure to give it a thumbs up for me. That definitely helps out my channel so very much. I really enjoy bringing you all along as I decorate and design these new creations on the coffee bar. And now that you've seen the whole design, I'd love to know, what is your favorite part of this design? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I bring you new DIYs, tutorials, and new inspiration every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on my YouTube channel, The Daily DIYer. You can also hit the bell next to the subscribe button and get notified when my videos go live. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.